Adafruit. You can buy them at adafruit.com.
Yeah.
But I mean, truthfully,
I'll have to say, like, this is a sponsored.
You totally should.
Get that fixed. It's shooting video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it on?
Action.
It's been on this whole time.
Yeah, it's been on the whole. I recorded myself tripping. That's the most interesting part.
Screw you.
Kick on the charisma. Here we go. Let's hear it. Oh, I think I can hear it better from right up here, right? Nice. Tell me about the construction.
So they talk to each other, where you can control them with the buttons down here, and the lights are synchronized to the sounds. So I took some sounds off of the internet that are basically animal noises, and I sped them up and slowed them down and put a lot of effects on them just to make them sound kind of alien, and then synchronize the lights so as the sound gets louder, the lights get brighter, that sort of thing. And then they talk to each other.
Do they listen to each other, or do they just talk at each other?
They really just talk at each other.
Yeah. Let's see the controller, or the triggers.
So 4 buttons because there's 4 different sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got a battery pack. There's another battery pack inside here. 1 battery pack for the lights, 1 for the sounds.
Mm-hmm.
The sounds and lights are actually totally separate from each other. And so each switch just, it's a dipole switch. So one half of the switch is controlling the lights, one half is the sound. But it's the same switch controls both.
And this is master power.
This is power for the sounds. This is power for the lights.
Oh, because it's just 2
It's
coincidental
two,
circuits.
it's 2 circuits that are totally isolated.
Yeah. That's a nice, elegant solution.
These are Adafruit NeoPixel lights.
Okay.
There's a NeoPixel ring in each one, and then they are controlled by an Adafruit Flora, which is basically a specialized Arduino that's meant for just controlling multicolor LED lights.
I'm putting the camera right up in your grill so that you're right against the mic, and that overpowers them.
Okay.
And so that we can hear Angela saying absolutely nothing.
And we'll continue to do so.
Hey, that.
So these are inspired by luminaries. The style comes from Europe somewhere, I think. I don't really know, but they're traditionally done on a pole like this and hanging down. So that's how these are done. And just over the other side of the building is a huge light and art festival, which is what we made these for. Full Moon, it's called. And that's what inspired these. These are constructed from paper towel. And I had giant beach balls, and I wrapped the paper towel over the beach balls, and soaked them in a mixture of roughly 50-50 of Elmer's glue and water.
Medical tape?
Yep, and then I used medical tape around the holes to reinforce the holes. These are zip ties. Holding it down. This was intentionally done to be evidently made out of homemade things that anybody could make themselves.
Well, it gives it like a force field effect, or maybe a whooshing.
Yeah, it kind of looks like, to me it looks very organic. Like these are
eyelashes. Yeah.
Or maybe jellyfish tendrils or something like that.
Yeah.
So let's make them talk to each other.
So each button is a separate trigger, and you know which ones are. I mean, they have the vocabulary that's the same.
Yeah, they both make the same sounds. They have slightly different lights, just to give them some individuality.
Damn hippies.
They ruin everything.
So how does it feel to be a hippie? Welcome back to the spaceport. No.
This isn't the space.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, this is where the magic happens. I'm going to open this up so you can see what's going on inside here. This is all put together with zip ties, which are great in some ways, but it means that you can't actually open anything without completely destroying the zip ties, which is sort of annoying.
Oh.
I'm going to pop these open just so you can see what's inside. And there's 2 of them. So one of these boxes, this one has the sounds in it, and this is just that circuit board. That's all that there is to it. And batteries that power it are inside the box. This one's the lights. So this right here is a Adafruit Flora controller. So it's essentially an Arduino controller that's designed specifically for LED colored lights. You've got a bunch of connectors, if you can see this, these are just little pins that pin in that plug into all the components. So I can take all of this apart, which I'm going to do right now, and everything comes out.
These look like servo plugs.
Yeah,
RC servo.
they are sometimes used for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that way I can completely isolate the top from the bottom. So we've got a Flora controller here, and then just some switches. These are the push buttons that control the lights. And so they've got 2 poles each, so one side of the switch is controlling the sound, and the other side of the switch is controlling the lights.
Is this the sound module?
No,
right.
the sound is
Sound
in
is
here.
there,
That's
okay.
the sound module. So I can actually, I can disconnect this all as well, just unplug all the things. It's going to be a little hard to get all of this out, but it will come out so that everything can come separated. But this is the entire thing, and it's designed for putting inside a teddy bear or similar so that you can record.
With USB.
USB is how you get the sounds onto it. So I went onto the interwebs and got some animal noises and messed around with them to make them sound sort of alien-y.
Oh.
And then you just plug this in as if it were a zip drive, flash drive, into your computer to get the sounds on there.
Nice.
There's software that you got to run, that comes with this.
I'll fire this one up so we can hear it.
Yeah, sure. So the heads, so you can see what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
This is a ring of Adafruit Pixel lights, and there's a speaker in the center there. All right, so when I push the buttons, whoop, we got no sound. Why not?
Is this one with the sketchy?
No, this is the one that should always work. So, not sure what's going on. It's broken. Interesting. Well, no sound.
That sucks. I'll do it. Whoop.
So it's set to, this one is set to go to like a dim blue when it's not doing anything. The other one is set to go to a dim green, just so that they're separate, different from each other. And then when it's doing its various whoopee noises and stuff, it goes to different colors.
So yeah, we were also noticing on playback of the other thing that the lampshade thingies here showed a lot more blotchiness than you notice in person, and so we should try to replicate that here now with the lights off.
Sure.
Maybe. Subjectively, I'm seeing with my own eyes these layers of laminate. What is it? Paper towel.
It's literally paper towel, yeah.
I can see it now, but through the camera, it's like you could only see that, or it seemed like it amplified that.
Yeah.
Less ambient.
Sure, because that's what it does when you.
Yeah. So yeah, less severe
Because you've got light behind
when
it.
we've got the light behind it. And see, it's doing that posterized, solarized thing where it's like really contrasty, like white and deep red or whatever, which I think looks awesome.
Let's pull this out because I'm curious what this will look like on camera if we actually hold up the light.
It's got a halo of infrared.
Okay.
Yeah, the red has a halo of infrared that I can't see with my eyeball,
Interesting. Okay.
which shows up as purple. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is sort of purple. This is
But I mean,
magenta, basically.
yeah.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, so you were talking before about the drop-down resistor thingies. Whoops.
Yeah. So you can see there's 4 resistors in there, one for each switch. Those are, and they're all going to this one blue wire, which is ground. And those are pull-down resistors. So they are, because the signal for the data that lights the lights up is very susceptible to noise, and it will literally pick up, if you don't have pull-down resistors, it will literally pick up any little radio frequency or anything, basically like the wires or an antenna, it'll pick all that up.
Yeah.
And
Noisy light bulbs and
anything,
stuff.
just
Yeah.
your hands
Any radio
moving,
frequency.
like
Right.
really, really subtle.
Yeah.
And at first I didn't have these, and the lights were flickering all crazy. They were basically just doing random noise.
Yeah.
And so I Googled that and figured out what was up, and they said, oh yeah, you make sure you have a pull-down resistor, which is basically just a resistor that goes to ground.
Yeah.
And it takes all of the takes all that noise out of the line so that you get a better signal-to-noise ratio.
Yep.
And works great.
Yeah. Otherwise, you could use it for finding wells. You walk around and you can find
You
find
probably
this underground
could.
spring.
They would do some, it does interesting things.
Yeah.
When you,
Metal detecting.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, rare earth. Can we do a rare earth magnet through the pipe? Nice.
That was
So it
satisfying.
drops in slow motion,
Yeah.
and maybe I can get the straight down view.
Ooh. All right. Can you see that? All right. So we're gonna drop it
Am I
in.
aligned?
No. Oh, there they got. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of worked.
There you go. And I always wondered why, if it's about conductivity and stuff, our carbon fiber rods don't do the same thing to it, because those are very, very conductive electrically.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I
It's
think
it's like a
because-
metallurgy thing, I think. Right?
Well, I think
Or flux.
I don't know.
Flux capacitor.
Flux. It's yeah. It has to do with the flux. No, I'm thinking it's because the carbon fiber is not.
Is
like
not-
if you melted it so that it was one solid thing
So,
or something.
yeah,
then
it's-
it. But the atoms are not aligned,
Yeah.
whereas they are in a carbon fiber. I think, but I don't know. I'm
Maybe,
making that up.
or the opposite, like because they're not in contact with each other as much, it's more like a lattice work. Because aluminum works as well.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's do some science.
I believe aluminum worked.
No, this is. It's
Ooh,
just-
that's not going to go. That's steel.
Yeah.
But aluminum rods worked pretty much just the same. Again, very conductive in metal. But not so with the carbon fiber, which
I suspect, and I don't know, this isn't based on anything, but I suspect it's because the carbon fiber is basically a weave.
a weave instead of a continuous
Yeah.
thing, and that it's not like a liquid metal that's not liquid anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you do it with a lump of coal, or do it, with some carbon, but it's not fibrous, so
Like graphite. You make
graphite,
too.
graphite tube,
That'd be interesting.
but those are granule. Anyway, whatever. Do it with a diamond.
A diamond tube. Yeah, I think I have one.
Are diamonds conductive?
No, they're not.
They're not? Because they'd make a pretty abrasion-resistant brush. Electrical brush. All right. Good night, everybody.